Lecce. He's Travis Thomas.
Come on.
Yeah. This is Boston's End of the Chat in the PNC Bank studio. I had to follow up on that.
I turned into Lil Jon. Yeah. What?
The first one was slick. Then you're coming in with that.
Okay. What?
Impersonations right off rip.
I mean, it's going to be high energy today.
I'll save my Jerry Jones for later.
Yeah, we're warning everyone. It's going to be high energy today, just like it is. But today, it always is. But today, we're a little bit turned up.
You know what had me sounding like Lil Jon this morning?
I know what it did.
What?
Yeah,
when
I know.
Tom Brady
got
approved and accepted to be a minority owner of the Raiders. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go through some of the Gold Glove snubs that are on the Red Sox roster. Jarren, Duran, Wilyer, Abreu are up for the award, but one key name was left off. Then we'll also go through some surprises from the NBA offseason and finally wrap up talking some Thursday night football. First, let's get into it. TB12.
Yeah.
Future Hall of Fame quarterback. Winningest quarterback of all time
Goat.
with Super Bowl rings. The greatest NFL player of all time.
Goat.
When you close your eyes and you picture him, he's a New England Patriot. But now,
that's all I see.
He's an owner of the Raiders, approved 5% minority owner.
Yeah.
This is big. What did you think when it finally went through? Something that was approved by the Raiders last year, but had to take a while to get through for the NFL.
Oh, well, I go back to that. I go back to the genesis. When Tom Brady first, it was announced that he was a minority owner for the Raiders. Remember, it felt like it was 5 seconds after he officially retired. So while all of us were clamoring for him to come back to the game, he puts out, remember, I think he was on the beach down in Florida, I believe, saying, this is it, guys. I'm really done this time. And then it felt like the next day almost, he was announced minority owner for the Raiders. And so when that happened, I remember thinking, this is a great path for Tom. It's a great fit for Tom. I always felt like Peyton Manning could have gone this route. Peyton Manning's such a cerebral player, much like Tom Brady. I always felt like Manning would be great in a front office. He'd be a great GM, but the stuff you're into, I feel like Peyton Manning would be great at, or ownership or something like that. And he decided to go the broadcasting route, and he's sensational at it.
Yeah.
But don't kid yourself. This is Peyton Manning. He's going to be great at whatever he chooses to do. Tom being the same, right? So ownership for Tom, I was excited. I was like, I'm glad he went the route I thought Peyton would. But then, fast forward from them to current day, you got too many damn jobs, Tom. When he did the broadcasting thing, and that was announced, the first thing in my mind was like, aren't you an owner of a team? Is that not conflict of interest here?
Yeah.
I mean, even in our industry.
We'll get into that.
I've done TV, radio, and podcasts my whole career. Every job I've gone to, I've had to make sure the other job was okay with me doing the other job with the other job, and it's not a conflict. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in Tom's case, you're an owner, a minority owner of a team, but you're calling games for Fox, and then, but wait, huh? So I was confused by it all. I think Tom, and I think a lot of players struggle. This is a bigger issue, George. I think a lot of players struggle with when their playing career's over.
Yeah. What to put their focus
on. I think like they scatter things to try and like fill maybe that void, especially in Tom's case, which we know how important football was to him. Giselle. So, you know, I think Tom like threw too many things at the wall, and because he's Tom Brady, all of it stuck. Like, because he's so brilliant, everything he wanted to try and do worked. And people were like, yeah, come on, let's do it. We'll give you all the money in the world. And then I think when the smoke cleared, it was like, oh, snap. Like, this is a conflict. These restrictions he has on him now as a broadcaster, because this deal was approved, why even broadcast? You're not even good yet. Like, I've heard a couple Tom games. He's not bad.
He's still getting better.
But he's not. Yes, he's growing. Yeah, that's fair. He's growing. And now, how are you going to grow? You can't even talk to players.
So the restrictions that he has to follow the NFL tampering rules. So he literally cannot talk about a player that's not on his team.
I mean, come on.
Good or bad, but mainly good. Because obviously you go out and talk to them publicly, it gets a player's ear, perks him up, age and all that. He can't talk negatively about other teams or officials.
Dumb.
So officials suck in the game. He can't say anything about that.
So
or else
the
he'd
truth.
get fined.
Yeah, the truth.
Exactly. Not allowed access to team facilities and practices. Can't attend broadcast meetings with players and coaches.
What's the point?
And those broadcast meetings is when you learn the most as a analyst, especially a color guy or sideline
still
reporter.
Growing, George. That's the thing. We're not talking about. This isn't Al Michaels who's been doing it forever. Like, this guy's still learning how to do this and be great at this, and now he can't do this stuff. Come on.
So Fox came to him with $37.5 million a year. So he said yes. And he probably said yes to that. Probably the wheels started churning for him to become an owner of the Raiders before Fox came about.
That's what I'm saying.
Because him and Mark Davis do have a prior relationship.
That's right.
He went to Mark Davis and asked him if he's interested in selling his stakes in the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, that's right. So he's vested in Vegas.
He now has the Raiders. This is a guy that also has Birmingham City, which is a soccer club
I didn't know that.
out in London.
All right.
You know what he's doing? Portfolio. British soccer club, lower level, but still he's a partial owner in that.
I didn't know that.
5% stake in the Raiders. But he's now going to be the face of the Raiders because he's the biggest name they have.
Aces.
Go with the Aces. Golden Knights. NBA team coming to Vegas.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball team coming to Vegas.
Yep.
And that's how it starts trending.
Okay, so just do that. Right?
But someone else came to him and said $37.5 million. And you know what? I'll keep collecting those $37.5 million paychecks until you tell me to leave.
Yeah, but what the hell can he do? How do you do that job? You can't talk to players. You can't criticize the refs. What the hell is he talking about?
I don't think he cares.
Man.
Money.
What a life.
Remember, man, crypto.com. He was part of that.
Hey, we'd like to apologize to you, Tom. We're big fans. You're the GOAT. I said the Giselle joke. He said the crypto joke. But listen, Tom, you got to let it go. These things really did happen. Okay? Well, we're poking fun, but they're really on your resume here. But, Tom, you're making all the money, man. Good for you. But I have concerns about him as a broadcaster already. He's not great. He's not terrible. But now you're quite literally handcuffing what he can and can't do as a broadcaster.
It's gonna suck.
It is impossible to get better. Impossible.
And also, you're going to see 31 other teams assign an intern literally to watch whatever game he's broadcasting. Yep. And anytime man, that was a great throw by Dak Prescott. Hit CeeDee Lamb in stride. Look how great of a route runner CeeDee Lamb is. He sets up the defender right off the line of scrimmage. That move and cuts in. Fine. Because you're saying how good of a player CeeDee Lamb is.
That's right.
So that was a great throw by Dak. I don't care if they're pending free agents or not. They're on my team.
By the way, we all watch these games.
And he'll get fined anytime he says that.
If we set a line at whatever number on how many bad calls there are on any given
can't talk
Sunday.
About the officials.
I mean, he can't say the truth. He can't say, well, that official missed that call, or that's a blatant pass interference that they didn't call. I mean, they can really be on top of this stuff. What are you setting the line right now? Oh,
no.
You're doing the numbers.
Oh my God,
that's a lot of numbers. Okay, before you talk,
he gets 2.2.
No. I'm looking over at George's phone. And I thought maybe he was looking up, like, if we set a number on how many bad calls there is in a game, which is what I was talking about. When I looked at the screen of his phone, can I just tell you, it is digits on digits. It looks like a phone number and a zip code got together and had a baby. That's how many numbers are on your screen. What are you looking at?
Let me close out my Chase account real quick. Okay. Tom Brady makes $2.2 million a game. Jeez. How many games has there been? 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Whoa. He made $13.2 million this year.
6 weeks.
He's going to keep collecting these paychecks.
Man.
And then if Fox goes, we can't do this mid-season, and you know what they do? Greg Olsen, you're back up.
Who was very good, by the way. Fantastic.
So like he's collecting his bag. He's just stashing away. Now he's going to get 5%
That's
ownership.
a long deal, right?
Of a team. The Raiders are worth $7.6 billion. Yeah, it's $375 million. 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
He's in year one of.
But if he's breaching contract, or if they decide they're gonna have the lawyers pony up and go, all right, we have to figure out why we're not gonna let him. We got to let him go. They're not gonna pay him the remainder.
Yeah, they will.
No.
Yes, they will, bro.
$375 million.
This is Tom, dog.
They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure out.
Yeah. Here's they already figured it out.
They
Ready?
Find something. Ethics, credibility.
He's going to be regular unleaded. This is no more.
Damn, that's messed up, bro. I'm regular unleaded.
Me
in my
too.
Car. Oh, okay, cool.
That's what I mean. We could call the games. It's going to be the same thing. You're not really getting Tom because he can't tell the truth. Tell the truth.
What is that? Is that from it's Brain?
The Concussion
No, what is
movie.
Concussion? It's literally called
was
Concussion.
Was it called Concussion? The Will Smith? Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Sort of a little John. Now it's the doctor. That was good, though.
Thanks.
So what also interests me about this, he does own TB12.
Yeah.
TB12 has some endorsed athletes. One of those being Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, you can't draft him.
He has. Why not?
I mean, isn't that a conflict of interest?
But he's not a current NFL player. They have a prior relationship, too. This goes back to 2020. Shedeur Sanders literally tweeting him and Tom Brady working out. If you're watching on this on YouTube, check it out. Learning from the GOATs, soaking it.
Wow.
Soaking up all the knowledge, tagging Tom Brady in
that's
this one.
a workout.
Yeah, it's a workout.
It
was 2020. I don't know if it was during pandemic, but that's young Shedeur. That is like pre-Jackson State Shedeur Sanders. Because obviously with Deion Sanders. And then boom, look at that. Legendary Tom Brady, Deion Sanders, and Shedeur Sanders all together. So they have this prior relationship. Raiders,
they need
really
a
bad team, top 3 pick.
They need a quarterback. And Shedeur has already said,
warm weather.
I'm only going to certain spots, yeah.
And Deion, where more would Deion Sanders want his son Shedeur to play than for Tom Brady? He'll be playing for Mark Davis. For Tom Brady and in Las Vegas.
Dallas.
One of the biggest brands.
Dallas.
I would rather follow Tom Brady and go to Vegas.
You said where would Prime rather than play? I bet Dallas.
Tom Brady.
You think?
Yeah. Dude, Jerry, we're all done. Jerry's been found and figured out.
Yeah.
He sucks.
He's got to go.
No one likes Jerry. And if you do, oh my God.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's still like the new hot thing.
Right.
Everyone wants to be like Tom. He's the biggest name out of all the owners in the NFL.
You need a quarterback. The Sanders brand fits in Vegas. Tom, in theory, takes care of them. You got to get a coach. Antonio Pierce ain't going to get it done. What's that look about? What's that look for?
You said Antonio Pierce?
Yeah, you're going to fire him.
Yeah.
You need a coach.
Don't.
Who's coaching that team?
Not Bill Belichick.
Why not?
You saw those reports. There's already rumors coming out.
Why
I
not?
heard. Tom Brady's already reaching out to Bill Belichick to be the coach.
Let me just pitch you an idea. Coming to this with an open mind.
Who am I?
You're a
I'm Tom
decision
Brady?
maker. No, you're the ugly Davis.
Damn. All right.
What's his name? Mark?
I got a better haircut.
You need a hair. Yeah. Hey, Mark. Come on,
No,
dog.
look at me. You're looking at.
I didn't mean. No, hold up. I didn't mean to call you ugly, but I gotta call a spade
He's
a
not
spade,
wrong.
bro.
You're not wrong. He's
I mean,
ugly.
that haircut is atrocious, bro. If you get that faded up, I got a barbershop I can take you to. They'll take care of you. Maybe you're not as ugly as I think, but currently constituted with your hairdo, come on, man, you oogly. All right, so look, I'll be Tom because I'm smooth like that. So hear me out.
Mark?
Yeah, hear me
All
out,
right,
Ugmo. Hear me out.
Hold
This
on.
is what we got to do.
Tom, we need a new head coach.
Is that
I've
how he
never
talks?
heard him speak. I don't know.
I mean, that haircut
I feel like
gives
he's
him,
strung out.
yeah, it gives him that aura, right?
All right, go.
All
We
right,
need, we need a new head coach.
Look, bro, first of all, I'm going to hook you up with my barber. Secondly, we agree on Shedeur. We're going to bring him here. We got that done.
Okay.
We need a coach here.
I like the quarterback.
This is 2025 now.
Yeah.
This is 2025. This is a quarterback offensive league. This Antonio Pierce guy, great interim coach, not a great head coach.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen enough. Let's move on, okay? I know that we can build a nice offensive coordinator. We can get Shedeur. We can have some offensive weapons around him. We got some money.
Yeah.
I believe Bill Belichick as the coach only.
No.
As long as we get him a very good high-end offensive coordinator in an offensive league. No power to Bill in the front office with you and others. He just coaches the team. Bill Belichick and Deion Sanders, I imagine, have a good relationship. I trust this kid Shedeur. Let's bring him in. Let's at least interview my pal, Bill Belichick. And he breaks the all-time winningest head coach record with the Raiders.
Tom, see how bad that team is that you left?
I do.
The Patriots team?
Yeah.
You know
But this is about us. This is about us.
It's
not
about us.
the Patriots.
But who made the team that bad? Bill Belichick. If that guy still wants full autonomy, he wants to make every single football decision and the buck stops with him, which I love accountability. Look what he left that roster in. That is a bottom 3 roster in the NFL. The worst wide receiver room in the league. The draft picks and the trades he made were awful. He's cheap as hell. When I have money to spend and I want to give big free agents, he won't get them because he doesn't want to give them money.
Grumpy.
And you talk about bringing in an offensive coordinator. I'm not bringing Josh McDaniels
Hell
back.
no.
I hate him.
No.
Look what he did here.
We got to mandate to Bill who it's going to be.
He's not going to take that job.
And that's going to be a problem.
He's not going to take that
Yeah,
job.
that'll be a
His
problem.
ego, you think he's going to let you tell him what to do?
Hell no.
Hey, Bill, what's up? I'm Tom now. I'm the owner. I've been the owner for 5 months. I'm picking your offensive coordinator. And who would it be?
I don't know.
Bill O'Brien?
Bill O'Brien.
No. The last time Bill O'Brien worked for Bill Belichick, he was only given the okay to hire his assistant tight ends coach. He was forced to stick with the prior coaching staff from Matt Patricia and Joe Judge with a college safety, now your running backs coach. Troy Brown, all-time Patriots legend, a wide receivers coach, and he was awful at that job because the wide receivers stunk. He was literally given that job with one hand tied behind his back. Bill O'Brien's not going to sign up for that. Bill O'Brien has full autonomy over at Boston College. He's not going to leave that to go for Bill Belichick, where, again, he'll be wrought through hell. He'll end up being the fall guy. And in 3-4 years, Bill's gone and Bill O'Brien's fired. Now, what he could do, Bill Belichick goes to the Raiders because all of this happens. You get your hire. Bill Belichick retires after breaking the scoring record. Tom Brady in 2011 put up better numbers than his 2010 MVP season. You know who his offensive coordinator and play caller was in 2011?
Who?
Bill O'Brien. Tom Brady drafts Shedeur. Bill O'Brien, head coach.
Bill O'Brien, head coach. Oh, what about this?
I don't think he leaves Boston College, but down the road.
What about this? Bill O'Brien, you pitch that as a head coach. Then could I argue, stay with me, I mean, could you pitch Prime?
No.
He's going to want to coach his son. I'm guessing he's not going to be long at Colorado once his son's out of there.
If you're Tom, you're the man for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, you'd have to share the spotlight.
Not happening. And like Deion facing NFL media, I don't care what city it's in. Like that's not going to happen. And that's going to like just wreck the culture, whatever the culture the Raiders have. Tom Brady's that's a huge hire. That's a huge acceptance by the Raiders. You could say he doesn't know any ownership. He's never done anything except for play football.
Yeah.
And now he's been broadcasting it for not even a full season. But he knows the details. He knows building a culture. He knows the people. He knows what it takes to win. And obviously you can say he's hyper-focused on making everything count and being the best there is. You bring in a Deion Sanders. If there's butting heads there, Deion's trying to do it like he's been doing it at Colorado. Just the lack of accountability. It's not going to work.
It's too much of a clown show. It's too much of a circus, right?
You want stability. You want to keep it simple. And also, again, Tom Brady's a 5% owner in this.
Yeah.
The Davises, Mark Davis and his mom, still majority owners.
Well, Tom, you said this too about the spotlight, right? Like in general, you don't want your owner having the spotlight. Ask Dallas. But in Tom's case, being a minority owner, that's one of the reasons you're there, is to be the spotlight, is to be a face.
Yeah.
So that does matter, and he will be involved in that, obviously. I feel like what would be the best fit? Let's say Shedeur goes there, right? Because Tom can definitely make that happen. What coach makes sense? A kid in Detroit we both like?
Ben Johnson.
Right? It's got to be an offensive guy.
It's not going to be Clint Kubiak. Bobby Slowick. Yeah, with the Texans.
Slowick.
Yeah.
That's a good gig.
He's never called plays before, but Bobby Slowick didn't call plays. Wes Phillips from the Minnesota Vikings.
I like Slowick there.
Phillips has been around McVay since 2018 or 19. He's been with Kevin O'Connell since O'Connell went to Minnesota. Look at how good that offense is.
Right.
He'll go offensive-minded.
Gosh, that's fascinating. Vegas is popping, man. Like you said, baseball, and basketball's coming.
You want to set this up for success. You don't hire a head coach for 3 years. You want a head coach that'll be there for 10 years.
You got to go young, then.
You get Shedeur.
Yeah.
You get a Ben Johnson or a Bobby Slowick, which is perfect.
Yep.
Shedeur Sanders and one of those two play callers, next 10 years they're leading the Raiders.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a rebuild. We just rebuilt the Raiders. You're welcome, Tom.
Wait, hold on.
Hire us.
I would just like, we pause this for this epic moment on the chat.
What?
I broke through to you.
What do you mean? Talking me off the Belichick ledge?
Thank you.
You did.
All right.
You did. I'll give you that.
Wait, one more I want to hit on this, though. All
right.
What is Robert Kraft thinking?
About the Tom stuff?
Because now, what have I said? The saving grace for Robert Kraft, where how awfully owned that franchise is. You lucked into Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, Robert Kraft.
Right.
That wasn't your doing.
Right.
You brought Tom Brady back this past year for his jersey retirement ceremony, Tom Brady Day, all that.
We love Tom.
Automatically gets into the Ring of Fame, Ring of Honor, and that stadium was packed. For Tom Brady.
You were there.
So every time Tom Brady is introduced now, anywhere, it is 7-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Las Vegas Raiders owner Tom Brady. No more Patriots.
I mean, then that's a missed. He can't feel a type of way because as tight as they are.
He's going to.
Well, I'm saying past tense because as tight as they are, I can't believe that in moments of conversation between just them two, dinner or drinks or something, that Tom didn't say, I want to get into ownership.
I bet he did.
I'm sure he did.
There's no way this comes up with the Raiders. But as Robert Kraft has said, quote, I'm never selling it. We set it up so it hopefully stays in the family for many, many decades to come.
But that's my point. He can't feel a type of way that Tom's going to be mentioned with the Raiders.
5%.
Right.
5%.
He should have came up. Not only should he came up off of that, it should have been at a discount. Whatever Tom got with the Raiders, He should have got with the Patriots, same minority ownership stake.
Yeah.
For the low, for half off.
So
he should have gave him the ultimate deal.
Raiders are valued at $7.6 billion, Patriots $7.9 billion.
Man.
But there's valuation, you have to do that. You can't just do solids, I would think.
Right.
And I think the minimum is 5%.
And by the way, hold on, from an investment standpoint, because you're talking from a loyalty standpoint, which makes sense.
Yeah.
From an investment standpoint,
What's better?
It's already established here. You already have the Celtics. You already have the Red Sox. You already have all these teams, the Bruins.
Yeah.
In Vegas, it's growing.
Yes.
So from an investment standpoint, it's actually smarter to take the Vegas deal.
Robert Kraft's looking at it, it's like, why didn't he go with me? Well, A, you're going to be stubborn and not open it up.
Right.
But really, Robert, you and Jonathan need some help as the ownership of the team. What would you rather be, a partial owner of the team that calls Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas home, right by the Sphere, or a team where you have to drive an hour south of Boston through Route 1, 2-lane highway, all the way to Foxborough for Gillette freaking Stadium?
Why are you doing that to Foxborough?
Because
man? I love Foxborough.
I love
man.
Walpole. I love Foxborough.
Hey, you know what? I'll pick y'all. I'm going to Foxborough, baby. I'll sit in the traffic.
Lying.
I'm lying. I'm definitely capping. I take Vegas. I take Vegas. I like the Sphere.
Gillette's unique, but you're driving down there, you're like, where am I going? Rather be part of Allegiant, where the Sphere is, where an NBA team's going to arrive, a WNBA team that's won 2 rings.
Bro.
Golden Knights won a Stanley Cup.
Some of the
MLB's coming, NBA's coming.
Some of the worst traffic I've ever been in
Boston.
my life
Boston.
is leaving Gillette, dog.
Boston.
After
Takes you
an
4
event.
hours.
It's insane.
It's awful.
The shoulder of the road. It's the first time I've ever seen this. The shoulder of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Is a lane.
Yeah, use a
people were flying.
Yeah, use the cowboy lane. That's just being smart.
Where are the police when you need them?
Because they know it frees up traffic and they can get home quicker if those
Lord
people
have
use that.
mercy.
Again, if I'm Robert Kraft, this has to be a wake-up call. Because every time you bring Tom Brady back around for your events to sell at your stadium, the only thing that's going to make money, the only reason people are going to tune in to your team or go to your games for the near future is because of Tom Brady. Every time you introduce him, 7-time Super Bowl winning champion, partial owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow.
You don't even say Patriots quarterback. They'll do that.
Right.
But now he is forever affiliated with the Raiders everywhere he goes. That's because Robert Kraft didn't want to open up his stakes, his family business, to the best thing to ever happen to his franchise. The greatest investment he's ever made, the luckiest investment he's ever made, and the greatest ambassador for the New England Patriots ever. And Robert Kraft's like, no, I want to keep it in the family. You always talked about him like he was your son. Robert Kraft effed up.
Yeah, he had it. You're right.
By letting this happen.
He had a chance to actually make him one of his sons in a sense by giving him a piece of that, and he wouldn't do it.
I don't hate Tom Brady to go with Las Vegas.
I think it's a better investment.
Stadium. Growing city, sports scene is growing. You have that stake in the Raiders. NBA comes along, you get in those circles to become a partial owner of that NBA team.
You call that an ROI.
Yeah.
Return on investment.
There we go.
I learned that on Shark Tank. Thank you.
$2.2 million a game he's broadcasting. That's nuts. He can't talk about anything. All right, you mentioned the Red Sox. Gold Glove nominees are out.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm happy to see who's nominated from Boston. I need to take a breath before we get into who's snubbed. But
yeah.
Wilyer, Abreu, and Jarren Duran were selected as Gold Glove finalists. Of course, Wilyer, Abreu playing right field like a gem for the Sox.
They should both win.
Jarren Duran playing center.
Yep.
What do you think of those two nominees?
I mean, I'm looking at the numbers. They're right there, top 3 for everything. We watch the game, so obviously we're a little bit biased. But these guys, and what was most impressive to me this season from a defensive standpoint is how much of a mess they were last season from a defensive standpoint. And then these two made it happen. It's just incredible to me. I feel like, and I know we're going to get to the snub, but I feel like either or both of these guys should win. I really do.
Durant,
and I don't think it's homerisms. Like the numbers there that we watch the games, they turn this team from a defensive mess to where the defense was not an embarrassment. And these guys really shine. So I think they should win it.
Duran's speed, his arm strength, too, his plus arm. I mean, from center field.
Well, he
has
did
been
everything,
great.
too.
He did everything.
He had a breakout year, period.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 5-tool guy for them, but what he did defensively in center field was amazing.
Yes.
Wilyer Abreu, I mean, +7 in outs above average. So he's overperforming, and he's making up for, outs he shouldn't be making out there. Great at tracking the ball. Right field in Fenway is really difficult to play.
That's right.
Great arm. And the tenacity that he plays with, putting his body on line, that's everything you want in a right fielder. He should get it. There's going to be the weird Juan Soto talk coming out where he wasn't great in right field for Yankee Stadium.
No.
Maybe he has a better arm, you can say, but it should be Wilyer Abreu. I think Wilyer Abreu has a better chance to win. Center field has so many nominees.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jarren Duran wins.
Think about this, too. He's just a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
To have that kind of impact right away.
Came up, we saw the glimpses last season, but this past season, like, took it over.
Crazy.
And what's big, so let's get to the snub, is that Ceddanne Rafeala not named a finalist for the utility.
Yes.
First player since 1901 to make more than 60 starts at center field and shortstop in the same season.
Don't you feel like this was a name recognition thing? Because that's what I got from it.
So the one, like, why Ceddanne Rafeala should at least have been a finalist. To win, I'm not sure. Because the three finalists, Mauricio Dubon, Moore, and then Willie Castro, they've all played 4 or 5 different positions this season. Mauricio Dubon played every position except pitcher and catcher. But for Ceddanne Rafeala, you go to any game at Fenway. If he's at center field or shortstop, you go, who is that?
Shutting it down.
Who
Every
is
time.
that? Only 12 errors on the season.
Yep.
And his fielding percentage at center field, .984, right there with Julio Rodriguez, who's an everyday center fielder for the Mariners.
Yep.
His fielding percentage at shortstop, .968, right there with Jeremy Pena of the Astros, who's one of the best shortstops in the game.
Yeah.
2 of the top of their positions, he's playing at that defensive level. And, of course, shortstop and center field, where you need the most athleticism, the most talent, to make those positions work defensively, let alone be elite at.
Another young guy at that.
He should at least have been a finalist.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the good thing is all these dudes are so young that you're set up for the future. And it's easy to say now, like, oh, if you don't win it, you'll have another crack at it. No one wants to hear that if you don't win an award.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you don't win it this year, they're going to get multiple of these. All 3 of these guys we're talking about. I mean, they're all breakout standouts. Now, in Duran's case, across the board, as you said. But defensively, all these guys can get it done. So if it doesn't happen this year, obviously, in Rafeala's case, it ain't. But if it doesn't happen this year, it's going to happen in the future for all of them.
It's amazing to project this outfield moving forward because if Marcelo Mayer's healthy, comes up through the Sox system and becomes that shortstop, then what do you do? Ceddanne Rafeala to center, Duran to left. I mean, that's a move you have to make. There's also Roman Anthony coming up through the farm system as well. Imagine this, though. Say if Roman Anthony is everything and more as he comes up through the system.
He lives up through the hype.
Ceddanne Rafeala as short, Marcelo Meyer at third base. He's big right now. He's only 21, but he's like 6'3", 190. He can keep growing and grow his way out of short. But he has a plus
Devers
arm.
DH.
He has good instincts. Devers to first or DH.
Devers to first or DH.
Right? The important thing is the versatility they have. Then you have Anthony, Duran, Abreu. Or you need one of those guys to sit. Rafeala to the outfield.
That's
Mayer to short.
That's an athletic-ass lineup, bro.
Yeah.
That's an athletic, young, nasty lineup.
Yeah. And you have
I see the vision.
And then you have Rafael Devers, who struggled to stay healthy all season.
Right.
Less demanding.
Feels
first
like
base or DH. The one thing with him is the contract. That's a third baseman's contract, not a DH contract.
Yeah,
but
no
hey,
kidding.
If he gets one of these, worth every penny.
Not only that, and we talk about this all the time, especially in baseball, the market resets constantly. Now, last offseason was a little tempered in terms of the money we saw being thrown around, other than like an Ohtani, right? But I feel like Devers' deal in your scenario, if you got there in 2 years, let's call it, it might not be the worst. It would make sense as a DH because at that point, 2 years from now, the way baseball is going, that could be a bargain. Maybe.
They're in a great spot right now, the Sox. They need to get pitching, especially in their farm system. But
no one ever questioned anything outside of pitching with this team.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the pipeline coming up. Everyone loves the lineup. You got to get the arms. You have to. And it's been the case for 2-3 years now. That hasn't changed.
And we'll see. I mean, like Connor Wong can be a future Gold Glove finalist.
Yeah, he could.
At catcher. We'll see what happens with
He's
Kyle
capable.
Teal.
He's capable.
Maybe Tristan Casas, if again he puts a whole season together. We'll see what his future holds.
He's got a contract issue too.
But
you got to figure that out.
The fact that they have 2 finalists in the outfield, they have another guy that should have been a finalist at either the toughest defensive position on the infield or on the outfield.
Yes.
I mean, it says a lot about that.
I know it's hard to swallow now when you're not in the postseason and we're seeing all these teams in the AL and NLCS and all that.
Yeah.
But the fact does remain that the future is bright for this franchise. It is. I mean, it's literally right in front of our faces. These guys getting the recognition that they deserve.
Just missing out on that wild card spot for the playoffs. Hey, make sure to call into the chat. 617-790-0928. Call in, leave a voicemail. Again, we had a lot of calls as Drake May was sitting on the bench about to play him and not to play him, why he shouldn't play.
You're poking the bear.
I just want him to call back. I'd like to hear the follow-up. I thought there were great phone calls. I respected both people.
This is very Jersey of you.
Only one agreed with me. The other person called me really, really stupid.
Facts.
But hey, you voiced your opinion, and in a way, they said it to my face, and they didn't walk around it. They straight up called me stupid. Love that. Bring it. I'm all for it.
Very Jersey right now.
Or email us, the chat at Nesson.com. Leave your name, where you're calling from, emailing from, or leave it anonymous. We'll play it either way.
Yep.
All right, let's go through some surprises from the NBA offseason, also some across the NFL.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two topics.
All right.
What are you more surprised by? Joe Mazzulla playing Jason Tatum 34 minutes in a preseason finale, or Mike Tomlin considering benching Justin Fields for Russell Wilson as the Steelers are 4-2?
It's got to be Tomlin. I know I reacted more to the Mazzulla thing, and I only reacted that way because that's diabolical. Why are you playing? Why are you playing Tatum all them damn minutes in a meaningless preseason game? By the way, on the eve when freaking Paul George hyperextended his knee and might be out for some time for the Sixers. Like, well, come on, bro. Really, Joe? But I'm going Mike Tomlin here because thank God to the basketball gods, nothing happened to Tatum. And we're going into the season A-OK, right? Tomlin can literally, I think, torpedo the Steelers season by making a switch at quarterback right now. He's not saying he is, but all of a sudden, Russell Wilson's healthy. He's taking first-team reps, which, by the way, Justin Fields playing well for you, winning games for you, but he's not the most polished, finished product quarterback you've ever seen. Established in the league quarterback you've ever seen. Don't you think he needs first-team reps too? He is your starter. So, obviously, Russell Wilson's in the fold there.
Yeah.
I believe it's always been the plan. I mean, you brought in Russ, and Justin Fields was supposed to back him up, and then we know the health dictated otherwise. But Fields is playing well. I have to imagine. If I'm in the Steelers locker room, I like the kid. He can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arm. We're winning games. He seems to be a likable guy. I don't want Justin Fields being benched for Russell Wilson, who's done nothing since he's got here, and I just watched him in Denver do nothing, and on his way out of Seattle, he was doing nothing. For what? If Justin Fields is struggling and we're losing, fine, but you're winning games. And Justin Fields is not struggling. He's not putting up video game numbers, but you don't have a video game offense. Yeah. He's running your offense. Hell, he is your offense. If a play breaks down, his legs are getting it. He ran for 2 touchdowns last week in a blowout.
Yeah.
This is a mistake. I think Mike Tomlin's making a big mistake. He's being smart to not be definitive we're going with Russ, but his actions are showing. Justin Fields is on a short leash, and it's just a matter of time before Russ gets in. If he just doesn't overall make the decision to bench Justin Fields outright and go with Russ, I think this could be possibly, we could be on the precipice of Mike Tomlin's first losing season if he mismanages this. I hope he sticks with Fields, unless Fields start playing like trash for 2, 3, 4 games in a row. You got to see it consistently that Fields is underperforming before I say, okay, go to Russ, no problem.
4-2, first in your division. It's right in front of you. Ravens are 4-2 as well. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I don't know. If this is George Pickens doing, this is diabolical by Mike Tomlin.
George Pickens is a loser. He's a loser.
I rarely crap on George Pickens sucks.
You're right, bro. You're right. He's making right now. Can I say, on behalf of the Travis delegation, I mean, life is good. You got Travis Kelce doing his thing. You got Travis Scott doing his thing. I mean, Travis is right now. We on top, baby. George Pickens.
Oh, okay.
You doing the George delegation wrong. George Belichick is making plays. You see him every day. Boston has entered the chat. Come on, George Pickens. You got to step your game up for the Georges. The Jorges need you.
You see what George Kittle's been doing this season? Be more like George Kittle.
Hello,
Be more like George Belichick. I've had it with Pickens. I'm more surprised by Joe Mazzulla. I made the joke that after we saw Paul George hyperextend his knee,
bro,
we go, and that is the end of superstars playing the preseason. And I said, I swear to God, watch, Tatum plays 35 minutes. He played 30 effing 4. What are you doing? He's going to have to play 45 minutes a night for you. I finally came around to you, Joe Maz.
Me too.
He's been to 2 NBA Finals runs in the last 3 seasons. He is your most important player on the team. He's an MVP candidate. He is a winner. He's been to 2 Olympic runs. Be damned how much he played this past summer. 34 effing minutes? What do you know what you get with him? Give the minutes to Lonnie Walker, Xavier Tillman. The guys have to play. Stupid.
Let's do some role play. You're Jason Tatum. You just came out of the game. Take a sip of your water. Ready? I'm B. Joe Mazzulla. Role play here. Hey,
this is nothing.
Yo, Jay, what you doing, man?
What do you want?
I ain't Steve Kerr. Get your ass back in that game.
It's preseason.
Get in the game.
It's preseason.
Get in the game.
Hey, shut up. Sit over there. He's lucky Tatum's a nice guy, man. That's asinine to me to play him
What
that
do you
many
think
minutes.
Tatum was thinking? Like, wait, what? Right now? You mean go back into this game? You mean next week? Oh, now?
34?
Okay, all right.
It's preseason. Like I'm hearing on the radio, the Celtics lost their bid for an undefeated preseason. Who cares?
I ain't Steve Kerr. You better get back in
Anyone counting those wins in that record? All right, I got a third one for you.
All right.
More surprised by Klay Thompson and Bronny struggles in the preseason? You more surprised by that? Klay Thompson, 3 for 18 from the field, 3 for 11 from 3, and he does not look good. Not explosive. Or Bronny, who just made 2 shots all preseason and has been putting up zeros almost every
Bronny
game.
doesn't even look like he
Assists,
wants to be there.
Rebounds, I'm talking.
He doesn't want to be there.
Man, at least do something where you're turning the ball over.
No.
0 turnovers. And has been putting up zeros almost every game.
Bronny doesn't even look like he wants to be there.
Rebounds, I'm talking.
He doesn't want to be there.
Man, at least do something where you're turning the ball over.
No.
0 turnovers.
I get vibes from him. I don't think. You know, we hang out with athletes all day. It's a perk of the job, right? And we hang out with so many athletes that ballers know ball, meaning Bronny being in the NBA on the Lakers right now, on the floor with these guys.
Yeah.
I think he knows. I think he's just like, I don't belong here, dude. That's a vibes. I kind of get vibes like this is
discouragement.
This is dad. This is dad stuff. This is not.
That's what I wonder.
I don't know if Bronny really made the right choice here. So with that being said, I'm not surprised to see him struggle because I don't think he belongs, man. I hate being so harsh. Yeah. I want to say something nice, but you watch the games. He looks small. He's out of place. He doesn't look like an NBA player out there. Now, it doesn't mean he couldn't have developed into that. You and I wanted him to stay at college. Whether he stayed at SC or transfer, it didn't matter. We both wanted him to stay in the college game. But I'm going to go Klay here because Klay was brought in to shoot the ball. Everyone knows you're not the same defender.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you're not as dynamic as the Splash Brothers era prime Klay. And that's fine. You have 2 of the best creators with the ball in Luka and Kyrie. Bro, all you have to do is shoot the rock. He was over the other night. He was 3 for 9 the other night before that. And they shut him down for the preseason. They're like, yeah, you're good here. Let's let him get himself together. And you're just brought in to shoot. The shots will fall. I think Klay will be fine.
But watching him move, man, he's sluggish. Like, no separation, no explosiveness.
He's old,
and
bro.
even points when he would catch you and you think he's going to release right away, puts the ball on the floor and drives.
Yeah.
Because he can't even create separation to get enough space to shoot.
He's old.
Coming up short, too. I'm more surprised by Klay. I thought it changed in scenery.
Too.
I didn't think he would age like this. With Bronny, he looks like a guy that was averaging 5, 3, and 2 for the 9th place team in the Pac-12 and was coming off the bench for USC. Like, I don't think he's an NBA player. I think he should still be in college. I really think he should still be in college because the minutes there. He's been putting up 0 minutes in the NBA, and that hurts his development.
By the way, Klay can help his team down the stretch.
Yeah.
Bronny will not.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Klay can figure it out. Bronny has no shot.
If he's playing significant minutes, it's scary for the Lakers.
Scary hours.
All right, let's get into Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Interesting matchup. Broncos at Saints. Rookie quarterback matchup. Bo Nix taking on Spencer Rattler.
How do you feel about that, buddy?
Well, I want to first get into Sean Payton's return to New Orleans.
Yeah.
16 years coaching there. Brought the franchise its only Super Bowl ever. Yeah. And we know what happened, 2005 Hurricane Katrina. They were playing games in San Antonio. Sean Payton gets in, signs a free agent that was risky like Drew Brees.
Sure did.
Wins the Lombardi, 16 years there. First time back in New Orleans.
Oh, wait. You're not done.
I'm not getting there yet.
You're not done, though.
Hold on.
You're not done with Sean Payton.
No. Does he get booed in his return to New Orleans?
Oh, yeah. See, I knew you weren't done. You missed a very important chapter.
We'll get to that.
No. Not the quarterback.
Bountygate?
No.
What, he's doing, Bo Nix?
Sean Payton is about to whoop the Saints' arses, and he doesn't even have a good team. Look, man.
It's a really good defense.
Derek Carr's out of this game. They haven't said it, but he's out.
Rashid
okay?
Shaheed's out.
He's definitely out.
Olave's in concussion protocol.
They've been named out, right? And Carr's not going to play. You are going into battle as the Saints with Spencer Rattler. Sean Payton is about to run up the score, and his team ain't even that damn good.
Yeah.
Listen, this is going to sound disrespectful, and that's fine. I really believe this to my core. Patriots fans, this is what rebuilding on the fly looks like. When you don't have a total gut job like the Patriots have to do, take it down to the studs and rebuild HGTV style. What the Broncos are doing is what I wish the Patriots had figured out. They are rebuilding right in front of our eyes on the fly.
Yeah.
That Russell Wilson contract was an albatross. Ask Cleveland how it feels to have a quarterback that's no good worth all that money, right? Somehow, Sean Payton pivoted off of Russell Wilson, absolutely got slaughtered in terms of the deal and all that stuff. Drafts Bo Nix, who everyone tells me is no good. I said it on draft night. That is the best situation for Bo Nix to go to because he has the things that Sean Payton likes. Sean Payton likes guys that gets rid of the ball quickly. You don't have to have the strongest arm, and you got to be accurate with the football. Oh, would you look at that? Bo Nix having a really good rookie season. They don't have any weapons, just like the Patriots don't. Look at their wide receiving core. It's no better than what's around here. I would argue the Patriots have a better run game than the Broncos do. But you know what the problem is? The Patriots get too bleeping cute. We're not going to run the ball. We got Jacoby Brissett and Drake May. What? The Broncos rely on a rookie quarterback, but they don't ask him to be a savior. He's managing these games. Yeah. He's doing a great – see, listen to the groans. He's doing a great job managing the games. He doesn't turn the ball over. It's not flashy. It doesn't need to be. They're in every game. They're winning more games than we thought, and that will continue. And I think they're going to smoke the Saints.
They're going to smoke the Saints because the Saints' defense sucks. They had 15 missed tackles against the Buccaneers. So Baker Mayfield threw for 315 yards. 242 came after the catch.
Yeah.
Week before, facing the Chiefs, 331 yards. 251 yards after catch. Against the Falcons, more than 50% of their receiving yards were after the catch. Go look at the running game, same thing. Majority were yards after contact. This Saints team can't tackle. You know what Bo Nix sucks at? Passes 10-plus yards downfield.
He doesn't have a strong arm.
He's only completing 37% of them.
He doesn't have a strong arm.
10-plus yards. That's not a strong arm. You can't be a quarterback in the NFL if you can't throw it downfield.
You saying he's got a noodle arm?
10-plus. Dude, you can have a noodle arm, be accurate. He sucks. But you know what? That doesn't matter. You throw it short, and you're going to get a guaranteed 10-plus yards every catch because the Saints can't tackle.
Yeah.
On top of this, we'll see if Patrick Surtain plays for the Broncos, but this Saints offense is depleted. And what does the Saints defense, the Broncos defense do so well? Play man, rush the passer.
Yep.
You look at what Vance Joseph has done since last year when the Dolphins made a mockery of that Broncos defense. Sean Payton stuck by Vance Joseph.
Yep.
He kept the secondary mostly intact with Patrick Surtain, changed a lot on his front seven, and Riley Moss is playing really well. Surtain's playing really well.
Yes.
But it's a depleted Saints offense with a rookie quarterback in Spencer Rattler making his second ever career start, but the Saints can't get stops. Yeah, the Broncos are going to wax the Saints. This is also going to be Drew Brees' Hall of Fame induction at halftime.
Wow.
Sean Payton back in the building, Drew Brees back in the building.
Yeah.
And the Saints are going to lose.
By the way, that coach, is it Dennis Allen? He's not long for this world either.
No.
He's going to get fired.
They started out 2-0.
Yeah.
And they're 2-4.
Well, they were putting up big numbers too. I think Derek Carr's injury. You got to give a little bit of grace here. Carr's out for probably a few games, I would guess.
But even Rattler was okay in the first half against the Bucs. Yeah. He struggled in man coverage in the second half.
That's right.
And that's what the Broncos defense does.
You trust Rattler more than Bo Nix? Because you clearly can't stand Bo Nix.
I would take Spencer Rattler over Bo Nix.
Oh, my God.
If Rattler was in this system, Rattler a fourth-round pick, not a first.
I couldn't disagree
He'd be doing
more.
Better.
I could not disagree more.
It's the system. Bo Nix stinks. He's one of the least efficient quarterbacks. He wasn't good against Oregon.
Bo Nix, did you lose money betting on him in college?
No.
Why do you hate on Bo Nix so hard?
Over 30% of his completions in college are behind the line of scrimmage. He's just a tunnel screen god. That's it.
Check down Charlie.
He makes a lot of dumb decisions when he's trying to extend plays. He is a more athletic Baker Mayfield, but he has the processing of Zach Wilson. It's really bad for Bo Nix.
All right, well, let's do this. I believe Bo Nix is going to steal the spotlight tonight. Ante, our esteemed producer, I want you to clip off that disrespect that George just said. He said the man sucks. He said he has a noodle arm. He can't do this. He can't do that. Ante, clip that off. Then what's going to happen is Bo Nix is going to ball tonight, okay? Drew Brees is in the house. Sean Payton back in his old stomping grounds. Oh, that game plan is going to be in fuego. Bo Nix balls out. We come back on the program, and I'm going to ask George, hey, man, you still feel the same way about Bo Nix?
Yeah, because
then we'll
the Saints defense sucks.
And see what you say after that.
The Saints defense sucks.
So Bo Nix throws 4 touchdowns. You don't care.
But what is he completing the pass 3 yards down the field? If
ain't no style points, bro.
If more than 50% of his passing yards is yards after catch, that's null and void. If he can't complete any passes, just the middle, I don't even need deep passes, like intermediate. He can't throw the ball downfield. This Saints defense is last or second in yards allowed per game, yards allowed per rush, yards allowed per pass, and 27th in completion percentage. Yeah, Bo Nix is going to ball out against the school of the blind.
We'll put a number on it. I'm going 23-17 Broncos, and I'm going to bet every single player prop on Bo Nix over. Every single one of them. Yards, rushing yards, passing yards, touchdowns. Bo Nix, I'm riding with you tonight. 23-17 Broncos.
You're not ready for this one. I took Bo Nix, 200-plus passing yards, plus 110.
Oh, that's
because
funny.
The Saints can't tackle.
Okay.
And they're going to get out ahead.
Give me a
Sean
score.
Payton's going to make a point. You went
23-17.
23-17. I like 21-17. I think they take the gas off the pedal, but the Saints defense is bad. 27-13 Broncos win. I'm laying the points, so I'm taking Broncos minus 3.
Score
That's no problem.
All right.
So, like, Bo Nix will do all right, bro. He's not going to ball out.
What do you think of my Broncos-Patriots comparison, though? Because they're rebuilding, too, but it doesn't look like a rebuilding team. It looks like, hey, this team's not great, but they're not terrible.
Really good defense.
They don't beat themselves.
And the defense masks a lot. Their offense is still figuring things out. And also, the Broncos' opponents have been so-so.
And also, Sean Payton's an all-time offensive mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's a huge difference.
You know what I mean?
New England and all that.
Right?
All right, that wraps. Wait, I got one more thing, and this is per request of our director, Jay.
Oh, boy.
For those who don't know, today is my man Travis's birthday.
Here we go.
So we're going to end it with a song by Jared Jones. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
This isn't uncomfortable at all.
Happy 24th birthday, Travis Thomas.
It's 21st, but who's counting?
Happy birthday to Trav. What are you getting for your birthday?
Liquor. I turned 21. I'm getting drunk. Woo!
What you don't know, I own pastures.
Pastures?
Plural. And wineries out in Italy. I'll send you my finest bottle.
Bye, everyone.
He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Belichick. Boston has entered the chat.
See what I deal
Bank
with?
Studio. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. New episodes dropping every Monday through Friday, every day of the week. Head to Netson's YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to go wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime. Like, subscribe, download, rate, and review, and leave us some comments as well. We'll see you guys next time on the chat. Happy birthday, my man.
Pastures.